Hi, my name's Costas.
I'm Chris.
Welcome to the 4th episode of the weekly magazine.
Somebody won.
Did they?
Yes. We had loads of people guess the correct word, which was...
Fantastico.
We gave it away somewhat to try and encourage things along.
We don't actually know who the winner is yet.
No, everybody who got the word right, and there was quite a few of you, we've put the name into one of Costas' colourful hats. He's suffering a cold head for you, okay? And we're going to go for the winner. So do you want to pull the winner out, mate?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so the winner is...
Costas Damianou.
Well done. The winner is...
Andy Brocklehurst.
Congratulations, Andy. So what you've got there, mate, is you've got Once Upon a Time...
I don't want to give him anything.
Do you know him?
Andy, we actually need to speak as well, so I'll give you a buzz later.
So you've won Once Upon a Time by Wayne Dobson, Card Weapons by Ben Salinas, the CTM Sharpie by some bloke.
That's not released yet. We're throwing it in, aren't we?
Yeah, freebie. Chipotty by Liam Montier. Our latest release, which is Reaction by Risky Nanda. So well done, Andy. That'll be on the way to you shortly. So
now, this wasn't. This was a free choice. Didn't know who was going to be pulled out of the hat. We are releasing a trick with Andy at some point.
Oh, are we? I didn't know that. Oh well.
So,
well done, Andy. Anyway.
Well done, Andy. You're lucky. We should have put him in the hat, actually.
Hang on. Andy Brockenhurst. Andy, no, not really. No, that was genuine. That was straight up. Right. So we've got the word of the week for this week.
£20 this week.
20.
Yeah. Well, it's an easy one.
Okay. I don't know what it is. 20 quid. Better than nothing.
Don't forget this was a rollover.
No, true. Okay. Right. So you're not going to be very brave to use that, are you? Right?
No.
Right, okay, so there's the word. So what's on this week's show then?
Today we're talking about Go Change by N2G and Leo Xing.
And Octopalm.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Octopalm. We had great fun with that, but we discuss it in a bit.
Yeah, okay, so on with the show.
That's it.
So first up on the once over this week is Octopalm. So let's have a look at one of the routines that you can perform using Octopalm.
We're doing this with 6 dimes, right? We're doing teleportation, right? We're going to show how something can go from one place to the other place instantaneously. So let's take 3 of the dimes here. And again, I'm not doing anything funny. We're trying to do magic. So there's no sleight of hand move here. There is a magic move. And I'm going to do that right now. So I want you to watch it. This is it. That's it. That's all it takes to have 1, 2, 3, 4 dimes there and only 2 here. Okay, now look, let's try it again. Go 1, 2, what's that? 3, 4. And we take 2 over here. Please watch this carefully because I'm not doing anything fast, fishy, or funny. We're trying to do real magic today. Are you ready? Okay, this is it right here. This is the move. That's the magic move. That's all it takes to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here and only 1 here. Let's do it one last time, okay? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? You ready? You're watching closely. Yes? I can see you're watching closely. Okay. You watching closely? Everybody watch closely because this is it. This is the magic move. It just happened. The 1 dime, I felt it happen, by the way, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is nothing here. Is that crazy? It is crazy.
Now you've just seen one of the routines you get when you purchase Octopalm. We didn't do a live performance on this because we never had enough time to actually work this and make it look as good as what you've just seen on the video.
It does. You don't get a DVD with this, by the way. Basically what you get is you get the jar of Octopalm, and you get a link to a video that's nearly 2 hours long, full of ideas, how to use it and all that. Now, although it does make things easy for you, you still need to practice.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got to get the right amount of stuff on there.
You've got to experiment with
moves.
it.
Now, let me say this right off. Octopalm allows you to do things that you cannot do using sleight of hand. For example, that coin has been there all the time I've been talking about Octopalm. Okay, that coin, you can then retrieve it and stick it back on. Okay, and that you cannot do that with sleight of hand. So that allows you to hide coins in places that were previously you couldn't do.
There's a lot of uses for that. Like what you've just had on your finger, you can actually have a coin underneath the shell, and with Octopalm you can place it on top of the shell, steal it, and reveal another coin for a change.
The thing about this that's a game changer really is, I mean, obviously people have been using sticky stuff to do things like this for years, right? There's nothing new there, but it doesn't feel like there's anything there.
No.
You can't see it, you can't really smell it, and it stays there. And I mean, I haven't tried this, but on the video he says it'll stay there for 2 to 3 hours, and you can use it before you have to
I've had it on my fingers now for about 45 minutes, and I could easily place a coin back on there.
Yeah, and so it allows you to do loads of impossible things, like the coins across routine that you've just seen. You can steal coins out of people's hands and so on.
Now that coins across routine, he uses dimes, and it's the same size as a UK 5p.
Yeah. And
the routine looks fantastic. And playing around with Octopalm, you will be able to perform that routine. You do need to practice though. It's not something you'll be able to do within a couple of minutes.
I don't think the moves are particularly difficult. The thing that you need to play around with really is how much of the stuff you need to put on. When I first did this, and I think a lot of people have fell into this trap.
You put too much.
Put too much on. Yeah. And what happens is you transfer to the coins and it made the coins sticky. Yeah. So you just need to put a little bit on really. I only put a tiny amount on my hand.
And the thing is, everyone's skin's different as well. So you've got to play around with the right consistency for yourself.
Yeah. Now, I personally, would I use this? No, I wouldn't.
No.
Not at a gig.
No, you wouldn't. Well, some people might have a great use for it at a gig. It's something that, as magicians, we've all got some double back cards, double face cards, some magnets, roughing spray.
It's an overt gimmick, isn't it?
It's another accessory to have in your arsenal. Yeah. You might come across something that Octopalm will be ideal for that particular routine or trick.
I think the best thing you can say about this product is, if you know what you're buying, right? You know what you're getting. They haven't hidden it away.
No, it
is what it is. And if you're interested in what this can do, then it's definitely for you, because it does it really, really well. You get loads for the amount of stuff that you need to use. You get quite a reasonable amount. It's going to last you a long time, and it does exactly. In fact, we've got one here. Yeah. So
the pot it's quite substantial.
Yeah.
This is going to last you a very long time, because you're not going to use that in a year. I don't think.
Even if you used it all the time, for the amount that you have to put on for it to work, it's going to last you a long time. So, like I say, me as a working magician, I don't think I'd use it at shows particularly. Having said that, it could be that I haven't found the best use for it for me yet.
Well, that's it. And I think you would have quite a lot of fun finding
Yeah.
interesting ways to implement this and use
They
it.
probably haven't even scratched the surface with this just yet. He did a lot of coin magic with it.
Yeah.
But also, you know, something that you can use if you suffer with really dry hands, okay, and you're doing card slides like palming and stuff, maybe just a tiny little bit on your hands before you start, and I mean just a tiny little bit, and that will allow a lot of grip.
Well, yeah. Well,
So
you
possibly you could use it
do
for that.
find the older generation, their skin becomes smooth.
I suffer with it all the time, dry
Yeah.
hands.
And also you get some, you know, with mine, they sort of rough, and
Yeah.
you can grab, you know, push cards easier. But with this, you can actually, you know, just
Yeah, just a little bit.
create some grip.
I think for me, the bottom line is, if what it is appeals to you, then I would buy it because it does exactly what it says, and it does it very, very well. Okay, so
And we have loads of these in stock. We decided to go crazy because we knew it was going to be it's a constant seller at the moment, I think, for most dealers. It's cheap, cheerful, and fun to play with.
okay, and don't be a chicken when you've got it on there. You know, don't know if it's going to stay there. You've got to be bold, be
Yeah.
brave.
Be
Okay.
brave.
Thank you. So Octopalm, yeah, definitely. If it appeals to you, go for it.
I haven't got anything negative to say about this because even though I don't think I'll use it in a working environment just yet, it's still something that, you know, I might have a use for it.
Yep.
It does what it says on the tin. In fact, it does it
That's what I'm
better.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's Octopalm, thank you. So the other product that we're going to be looking at this week is Go Change by N2G and Leo Xing, I think.
Some interesting name.
Xang, yeah. So first of all, let's have a quick look at the trailer. So that was the trailer for Go Change. I'd just like to share another sort of way of doing this. This is an idea of Gary Jones, and this will be my preferred way of doing it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that now, and then we'll talk a little bit about the product. So, Costas, I've got here an envelope, right? And now I'm going to leave the envelope here on full view the whole time. It's got a prediction in there, right? I'd like you to just take a card out for me if you would.
Okay.
Excellent. And if you'd like to sign your name on there so everyone can see at home. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And oh, he's recapped it as well. How very polite. Right, so our job is to try and find your card
I don't want it to dry out.
from somewhere in there, okay? Yeah, because they're very expensive. So remember, the envelope was down here the whole time, right? Now, I haven't been anywhere near this, okay? Inside, I said there was a prediction inside here, and it's a playing card. And it happens to be your card, you and I. So that's Gary's take on this.
Gary Jones.
Gary Jones. Hope you're feeling better. I prefer that. Have it, and I'll tell you why. You can get in. You can use a regular pack, get into this on the fly, and get out of it. You don't have to have the gimmick in the pack at the start. Having said that, the gimmick is an incredibly clever idea.
Absolutely, and I do agree with you. I prefer Gary's routine than the official routine that's supplied with this, because it's much more streamlined. It's easier to load, and
I think so.
It's easier to work.
But if you like the way it looks on the video, that's fine as well. But the bottom line is, this is an incredibly clever gimmick. It's really well made, and it looks impossible, doesn't it? You know.
Even this close, when you're performing a trick and you're doing whatever you need to do, it's undetectable.
What Gary's done on his, by the way, is he's drawn like a question mark and prediction and stuff like that on there, and he's done it so it looks mysterious, it looks different. He places it down on the table, and then you come back to it.
I do think your preferred way will be Gary Jones's way, and we will be explaining that.
If anybody wants to buy it from us, there'll be a little video download that you get when you add it to your card.
And we'll explain how to do Gary Jones's version of this.
Okay, but I mean, really, there's not much else to say other than for me, it's a real worker.
Yeah, you will be using it. At a gig.
Yeah, I would definitely use that. You can give somebody the envelope. You can put a glass on top of it. You can put it down on the table. Forget all about it. And the nice thing about it is the way I've just done it there. You can bring that out at the start of your set, pop it down, do 4 or 5 tricks, whatever, and then as you're going into it, saying don't forget the envelope. We'll come back to that in a second, and I'm now ready to go into that routine. I like clever gimmicks that actually you can use at a gig. It's not something you're going to have to look after. So something we commented earlier. Haven't looked into how you can, if you do damage it or something. Does the DVD explain how to make them? It doesn't, but it's quite self-explanatory. Really, you could make it yourself once you've bought it. So you could make another one once you've got it and you play around with it. It's quite straightforward, but it's extremely well made. If you look after it, it should last a long time. But if you spill anything over it, obviously. But you could make another one. You just have to order a few things that you've probably got some of it lying around anyway. And if you do like either you get a spare envelope. If you do like the official performance or Gary Jones's routine, you will be using this. It is such a clever idea, and it's fun to do, and it just looks so good as well. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, big thumbs up from me. Absolutely. Brilliant. So the question last week was all about card tricks. Are card tricks overused? Do magicians rely too much on card tricks? Do spectators like card tricks? Well, the question arose, and it was by Quentin Reynolds. It was. He was interesting. He's one of the only people who didn't answer the question. Thanks, Quentin. Who was approached to do a gig, and they specifically requested no card tricks. No card tricks, because the magician that had the year before, all he did was card tricks, and they didn't like it. Yeah. To me, that there's only one logical reason behind that. Yeah. Because the person who was doing the card tricks was boring. Yeah. Well, I thought they enjoyed it, to be honest. Yeah. It was you, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. No. That was a joke. I think the problem is there's quite a few people that go out and perform, and they think the magic's the important thing, when the magic is secondary. It's all about your personality. You've got to come across in the right way, don't you? I went to the Magic Circle with some friends the other day, and we had a big long discussion about this on the way back on the train. And basically, Dave Jones And he said this all day long, and this is what we've got, a lot of answers saying things. These are just tools.
Yeah.
It's all about you.
We get paid to go and entertain people, and we just happen to use magic as the means of entertainment.
One of the questions we had the other day, and there was myself, Dave Jones, Will Gray, and Carl Buck, right? And I think it was Will Gray said, if you got to the table and you had to do 5 minutes, and you had no tricks on you at all, would you be able to do it? And we all decided yes, we would. But that's an interesting way of looking. Could you go to a table and engage a table for 5 minutes, or a group of people, and entertain them without doing any magic? So anyway, we're digressing a little bit. Let's read a few of the answers out, and then we can discuss it a little bit more. So card tricks are what the performer makes them. It seems to be the general response that we've got. If overused, people will get bored, is what Andy Nichols said. But that was completely contradicted by Paul Gordon,
who only does card tricks.
Only does card tricks. He doesn't even do a sponge ball trick or a cord trick.
And if you see Paul Gordon perform, or if you go to a convention and Paul Gordon's behind his stand, he's a non-stop card performer, and he's entertaining you as well.
He's very enthusiastic. He's funny. He's lively. He's bubbly, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah. Entertaining people. So yeah, Paul says I only do card tricks, and I'm not boring.
And I think if you go back to Andy Nichols, if overused, people will get bored. I think it all depends on people's preference as well. You know, some people don't like to do coin magic. Doesn't mean that it's a wrong thing to do.
I do a mixed bag purely because I just like to show people that you can do other. But I like to borrow things as well. I do things like ring flight and stuff like that, and coin bending and things like this. With borrowed objects. So I think that's important. But it all comes down to you. John O'Riordan. Maybe we perform too much magic. We should leave them wanting more. That's an interesting point. Do you go on too long? Do people go on too long? I mean, I usually at a table, I reckon I do 7 or 8 minutes. No more.
I think that's about average. I would say maximum 10 minutes.
10 minutes, I think.
Because you don't want to be with people for too long, because one, they're there to enjoy themselves for the reason they went out in the first place, and you're just there to help them along slightly. You don't want to get into their space for that much of
time. So do you think a 48-phase ambitious card routine is too much?
To be honest, I think a 4-phase card ambitious card routine is too much.
You're probably right. Colin McKenzie, great magician. Bad magicians rely on the tricks. Anything can be magic. All you need is you. What a great
way of putting it.
Jay Rollins. Now this was an interesting quote from Jay. I try to avoid card tricks. He doesn't say why. He just says I try to avoid card tricks, but people request them. Yeah. There's 2 things that people say to me when I take a pack of cards out at a show. One is, great, I love card tricks, and the other is, I've seen that one. Okay, so they're the 2 responses that you get. And I like, they say I've seen that one before I've started. And then I deal 21 cards out. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
that's what I do.
I've seen it. So yeah, I mean, everybody was pretty much unified this week in the response to the question.
Absolutely.
And card tricks aren't boring. Maybe you are. Not you. You.
People just learning a few tricks and going out and performing to people. Just because you perform the trick and it didn't go wrong doesn't mean you entertained them. Because
that's true.
The important thing is interacting with your audience as well. There's no point in me showing you a card trick for a couple of minutes and then not even having eye contact.
Sorry.
Eye contact.
It's a great trick.
And you've got to be able to have a conversation as well. Because performing magic without having any other interaction with your audience,
absolutely,
it becomes boring, because you've got to be human.
You don't necessarily have to be a comedian and tell loads of jokes. You just want to engage with the people.
I personally don't
tell jokes.
tell jokes. I can't tell jokes. I can't even remember a good joke.
But your facial hair's your joke, isn't
Well,
it?
that's it. People just look at me and they giggle. So that's the advantage I've got. And that's no. You got to have that interaction, and also one other thing that you hear as well is you perform magic to a group of people, and people blame the spectators for the trick not going right. We
had a few comments, didn't we, about last week's performance of Imagination Coins. Now that could have quite easily gone wrong when I performed it to the girl there. And it's how you manage it, and it's all about spectator management, which comes with experience, doesn't it?
Well, that's it. And I think one of the important thing is, the reason why card tricks can be boring is because the performer never learns.
Yeah.
As magicians, we should be analysing every single performance subconsciously in some way.
Let's face it, right? There are boring card tricks, or they can be boring. There can be some mathematical tricks can be quite procedural. But having said that, if you see a good entertainer perform a trick like that, like Van Tamarit's for example, you can see that it's all about the performer. So I think really we've covered everything there. It's all about the performer, isn't it?
It is, and it's up to the performer to analyse their tricks in order to improve them as you go along. A performer that just performs without thinking of why he never got those reactions, maybe it's not because the magic was bad, it's because he didn't interact with the audience.
Yeah.
So there's always a learning curve in order for the tricks that you don't get those good reactions. Maybe it's not because it's the tricks, maybe it's because you haven't done something right.
Yeah.
It's like when you perform a magic trick and the spectator doesn't follow what you want them to do, it doesn't mean it's because the trick is complicated, it's because you didn't verbally tell them in the right way what to do.
You're waffling there.
I always waffle, I just talk too much. I'm Greek. We invented language. What do you want me to do?
Hand kebabs.
No, that was the Turks, I think.
Oh, sorry. So, yeah, I think we've covered all the points there. So some brilliant responses off everybody. If we didn't give you a mention by name, thank you. We do appreciate your input. And we've got an interesting question for next week that we'll be posting on social media, Facebook, YouTube and things like that, okay?
Yeah.
So that's the question and answers for this week. Thank you.
Got a pack of cards here.
Yeah.
As you can see, they're all different.
Yeah.
From this moment in time, I'm not going to touch the cards.
Okay. Yeah.
What I want you to do is cut the cards in approximately 2 equal piles.
Okay.
I want you to pick up one of the piles.
Right.
Great. And what I'm going to ask you to do in a second, I'm going to ask you to start dealing the cards one by one on the table like this.
Yeah.
But I want you to do it very slowly because I don't want you to do the magic. I want your subconscious mind to do the magic.
Okay.
So I'll start dealing the cards.
Yeah.
And I want you to stop, slow down even more, and stop whenever you feel attracted to a particular card. You can stop whenever you like. So 6 of hearts over 8 of clubs.
8 of clubs.
8 of clubs. It has to be difficult. Let's have a look. Now you could have chosen any one of these and there's no duplicate 8 of clubs, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. And you could have continued and there's no duplicate 8 of clubs here, so 8 of spades. And there's no duplicate 8 of clubs here.
No.
Is there any particular reason you stopped at the 8 of clubs?
My subconscious mind told me to do it.
And turn it round and see why. Because that one there
Oh,
is
very
your
good.
card.
Very good. So that was the blast from the past this week. This is and this is the first time we've actually done this, but this is a MagicTao product, and it's an old effect of yours called Gobsmacked. Right?
Yeah, it was first released in 2003.
He was still at school then, surely.
Still wearing nappies.
He still is, in fact. Yeah. Okay.
It's our secret.
Yeah. So so Gobsmacked.
It's a great effect.
Strong. It's very strong. It's clean as well.
The reactions to lay people are just fantastic because they don't expect that the card that they stop at to be the only red card in the pack.
It's quite a brave thing to do, because you put in a gimmicked pack in the spectator's hands, and everything's out of your control. Has that ever caused you a problem? Or?
It's never been a problem. On the DVD we explain the psychology and the way this trick works, of course. The first couple of times you get used to the pace of the effect, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
But it never goes wrong. It's never gone wrong.
And it's self-working as well.
It is
you've got to be there, but it's easy to do.
Well, the great thing is you can change the message to the scenario you're in. If you're at a birthday party, your message could be happy birthday or whatever. Or if you're at a wedding,
I like that idea actually.
You can change the message.
That's quite. It'd be worth. If you work in restaurants like I do, it'd be worth carrying that pack around with you, with happy birthday on, just for the time of where it's somebody's birthday, because it happens all the time. That's why people are out.
And you could actually have their name on it. For example, happy birthday John, or
if you've been
Chris,
specifically booked.
Yeah. If you know the person's name, it's ideal, and it takes a minute to set it up.
And the reset's very fast as well, isn't it? Like 2 seconds.
Well, as soon as you gather all the cards up, it's virtually reset.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it in order for it to reset on the fly, and it's just beautiful, and the reactions are really, really strong. I do use this at every gig I do, because I know it's so strong. I've been using it for so long.
That's twice a year then?
That's once.
It's really good.
And that's
really
just
good.
at home at our Christmas party.
Yeah, shows the dog. So that's Gobsmacked, and to be honest, I wasn't aware of that really until I came to work here. And I'm not just saying this because I don't get any commission, but it is really good. It's very good, very clean. And I like it.
It's cheap and cheerful. It retails for £10.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and it's got free delivery as well.
You're cutting your own throat.
Oh, I'm generous, being Greek.
You need to cut your beard there. Yeah.
No, I'm going to dye it, I think, next time.
Pink?
No.
Green and orange?
Or maybe just orange.
For next week's show? So for next week's show, Costas is going to have a green and orange beard.
No, it's just going to be green or orange.
No green and orange?
No. That's too much work.
Oh,
let's try green one week and orange the other.
And I'll tell you what, I'll dye the side of my hair grey as well.
Yeah, that's... Look!
This is by magic.
But yeah, that was Gobsmacked.
Yeah.
£10 free delivery. You're going to have a lot of fun performing this. It's so easy to do as well. And the method's just, you'll like it.
Okay, yeah, brilliant. So that's the blast from the past for this week. Thank you.
Down news this week, our next release, Your Card Is by Grant Maidman, will be released sometime next week.
Yeah, this is brilliant. This is really good.
All the gimmicks have been made up.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the packaging, the artwork and everything to arrive.
Yeah.
And we'll start putting them together.
So within the next week or so, expect to see that. That's really
well, this
good.
time next week, all the pre-orders and stuff.
I have been using it quite a bit, and it's been getting some great reactions. Also,
Gold Change. If you order it from MagicTao, if you go to the download section, you would receive a download for Gary Jones's routine for this great effect.
Yeah, and don't forget Octopalm. We've got loads of that in stock.
There's plenty of those. However, there is a chance Murphy's Magic Supplies, who distribute this product, will run out of stock because it seems to be a very
flying off the shelves,
item.
isn't it? What's that retail at? Do we know?
It's only about £8, just under £9.
How is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to last you a long time. So if we've got plenty of that. So if anybody's interested, if you are interested in the possibilities it's going to open, it's well worth looking at.
And Blast from the Past Gobsmacked, again, it's £10.
I like that.
Free worldwide delivery as well.
I like that for the personalisation thing, the happy birthday thing. And if you're working for a client, and you're doing a trade show or something like that, it's perfect for that as well.
Absolutely.
So again.
And the refills for that effect, the cards that you write the message on, they're just normal red cards, so you're not buying something that you don't currently have.
So if anybody's got any suggestions for the show, anything you'd like to see reviewed, if you've got any questions that we'd like to pose, then please feel free to contact us.
And also don't hesitate to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with all the latest videos that we upload, and
yeah, that's it then, really.
and that's it.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show.